My chair keeps hitting the door like every time I move. Watch. Let's see how many times during this video my chair hits the door. I need to be in the shadows of my cloak. It's getting toasty, boys. Greetings, apprentices. I look like Darth Sidious. These are my screen light glasses, but they're absolutely ginormous. Greetings, apprentices. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Arlin. Today is a very chill day. I'm literally just going to be talking about the books that I have read in the past few months. I used to do monthly wrap-ups back when I was reading like 5 books a month, or 4 or 5 books a month, something like that, but I haven't done one since October because things have been a little bit hectic. It was the holiday season, we moved, etc, etc. But I have in fact read 4 books in the past few months, and I just really wanted to talk about them right now, today, like right now. I don't ever really plan my videos. I just don't work on a schedule very well like that, so I kind of just randomly decided to film this, and that is what we're going to be doing. Because this video is already somehow 10 minutes long, even though you guys are probably only going to see like 30 seconds to a minute because I always cut out like a bunch of garbage. Let's go ahead and get to the video before this video is 50 minutes long. Alright, the first book that I read is Prophecy of Aram by J&J Hadorn. Let's go with that. Is the camera too... Guys, we may have a problem. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I feel like that's better. Just don't look at the mess over there. I read this a few months ago and I gave this a 4.5 stars. Pretty solid if you ask me. This was a good book. I enjoyed it, and the best part, it was completely clean. Let's go! So if you happen to be looking for a clean fantasy book recommendation, here you go, baby. This is an option. This lovely creature right here is an option. I enjoyed the characters. There was nobody that actually like really annoyed me, which is good because that is the worst. This is about a girl who doesn't remember who she is, and she ends up like joining an army just so that she can get provisions, food, stuff like that. The question though is, which side is actually the good guys? Which side is the bad guys? Who is she fighting for? Who is she actually, like, because she doesn't remember her identity? So she ends up going on a few quests like that to try and figure out like who she is and like who she should be fighting for. That's a pretty important thing to know when you're in an army. There's also a prophecy going on throughout this book. So her name is Taya. The second main character is Brylic. Yes, this is a romantasy. It's not Powerless where like it's 90% romance and 10% fantasy. It's more just like a normal amount of romance, and Brylic is actually a dragon trainer. I'm sure you could not tell that there were dragons in this book. Okay, so here's the back. Let me read you the bold black print right here real quick. When Taya and Brylic's paths collide, Taya must choose: stay loyal to her friends in the Nanikian army or join Brylic in his attempt to save the prophecy, risking her own life and possibly her heart, guys, in the process. Okay, hello. So if that is up your alley, ladies and gentlemen, you have a book recommendation. Alright, the next book that I have is Underground Royalty by Mel Torrefranca. I am a huge Nightshade Academy fan, which is book 1 in the series. It's so good.
It's what YA should be. It's written really well. The plot is amazing. Amazing characters.
So I read the second one recently, and I also gave this a 5 stars. I really enjoyed this. It's always really weird talking about like book 2 or book 3 in a series because if you haven't read the first one, I don't want to give any spoilers because like the basic plot will probably give spoilers away. So I'm not even going to say what this is about, but I will just say it's a solid book 2 in the series, and I cannot wait for the third book, which I believe is the last book in the series. I think it's a trilogy. The ending of this book was actually crazy, but I highly recommend the Belladonna trilogy by Mel Torrefranca. It's really good. The covers are also super cool. So in this book, there are things called guardians, and here are the different divisions you can be in. I showed this, I think, in my previous video, but honestly, guys, I love when books have like things like this in their book. It just makes the world feel more real. I love the format of this book. It's like so cool. This series is still what I would consider clean, but there are a few things that I would mention when I'm recommending it to somebody. Like, there is some language in this book. It's not too harsh, but there is some, and as you can probably tell from the cover, there is violence in this book, just like most fantasy dystopian type books, but it's nothing too grotesque. Personally, I would still consider this clean for like middle to older teens, but it's a super good book series, so I highly recommend this. Guys, the next book is one of my new favorite books ever. I don't know, I made a short about this. I don't know if it's out yet, but there is going to be a short about this as well. It is so good. It's book 1 in a series, and none of the other books have been released yet, but I cannot wait for them to be. I won't keep the suspense any longer. That book is Camp Chronicles Shadows No Longer. Absolutely amazing. It's very similar to Percy Jackson, so if you like Percy Jackson, I almost guarantee you will love this book. It's about a girl named Ronan who gets sent to a camp. It's basically a camp for kids who are in danger because of who their parents are. Ronan's mom is the leader of a gang, so she gets sent to this camp. Basically, the camp is supposed to be a safe haven for these kids. So tell me why Somebody is trying to shoot our main character with a bow and arrow. That's where the plot picks up, because why is someone trying to murder her? I'm not even kidding, guys. Ronan is the funniest character ever. She's amazing. The camp is very similar to Percy Jackson in that there's like training and there's different groups. There's a group called Ajax, which is for the elite campers. There's also a group called Pseudo, which is a very suspicious group full of like the bullies, basically. There's a group of brothers in here called the Eastwood Boys, and they're like the charmers of the camp. Everyone has a crush on them. Ronan ends up becoming best friends with one of them and enemies with another. And I'm not even joking, guys. Ronan's relationship with Riley, ugh, it's so good. I love their relationship. This book made me cry at the end. Ugh. The cover is super cool. It just exudes camp vibes. I don't know. And just imagine having like the entire series. Literally, so good. I love this book so much. And the last book that I have to talk about is The Last Light of Edgewood by Luke Boswell. If I remember correctly, I gave this a 2.5 stars. The writing wasn't my favorite. It felt kind of choppy, and also the characters weren't necessarily my favorite, but I did like the plot and the setting. I really liked the lighthouse, and I did like the role of the Keeper of the Light and like the apprenticeship going on there. But overall, I didn't feel like there was much tension in the book, and sometimes the main characters did annoy me. I know they're kids, but they just weren't my favorite. I'll read the back to you guys so you can kind of see what the plot is. For Esben and Oren, life in Edgewood had always been simple. The realm of the royal gardens had only known centuries of unbroken peace. But as Esben is chosen to be the apprentice to the mysterious and reclusive Keeper of the Light, the shadows begin to appear. In the darkness, there is a growing threat, an evil that threatens to tear apart Esben and Oren, and ultimately the whole town. And Esben is about to learn that being the Keeper of the Light could be a deadly profession. So the plot is actually really good, and I really like the setting. There's also a map. I love when there are maps in books, even if it's not a high fantasy. But like I said, the writing was choppy, and I just didn't really vibe with the characters that much. It wasn't the worst book in the world though, so obviously it's not a 1 star, but it was an interesting book. Alright guys, those are all the books that I have read recently, and actually I am in the middle of Jane Eyre, but I'm only about this much through, so I don't have too much to talk about yet, although the writing is absolutely incredible, and it just makes me feel so horrible because I'm like, oh wow, my writing is absolute garbage. But then again, I'm like, okay, like surely she was like in her 30s at least. I'm not in my 30s. Anyways, the next video coming out will be a collab with someone. That's super exciting, so stay tuned for that. It's gonna be so much fun. As always, feel free to let me know what books you've been reading down below in the comments, because I love hearing your thoughts. I love you guys so much. Jesus loves you more, and I will see you in my future videos. Bye!